Thanks for joining me again. This week I hosted the last of our 10 community conversations on the operating budget. I want to thank everyone who participated, including those who came out for presentations in Spanish, Amharic, and Chinese, as well as the forums that were created specifically for MCPS parents and for our senior population. We want to make sure that residents can have input in how to improve Montgomery County and how we spend our taxpayer dollars. While I can't say yes to every request, I listen and ask my staff to evaluate the best ways to serve the public and address the concerns that are raised. We appreciate everyone's feedback and thoughts, and we will be unveiling our FY 25 to 30 biennial capital budget on January 16th and our FY 25 operating budget on March 15th. I look forward to updating you on our budget decisions. Last week during the winter conference for the Maryland Association of Counties, we learned of the state's plan to cut transportation funding by more than $3 billion, or 8%. Not only is this disappointing for our transit riders, advocates, and for the county, it highlights one of the issues that I've tried to address with our state and local tax structure for many years. We should be taking a cue from our neighbors in Northern Virginia. In Virginia, there are special commercial taxings that are set aside for transportation. Northern Virginia knew they needed transportation infrastructure, and they asked the state to let them take the lead, and developers there agreed to special taxes because they knew a meaningful commitment to infrastructure was essential to the future success of the area. That work has allowed Northern Virginia to outpace Maryland in building their transportation infrastructure by far. Interestingly, they're paying far higher commercial tax rates in Virginia than they would here in Montgomery County. Unfortunately, Maryland counties don't have this autonomy. It would require a change in the state level similar to what happened in Northern Virginia. The transportation infrastructure is an important reason that businesses are choosing to relocate or expand in Northern Virginia. Meanwhile, here in Maryland, the counties are facing large cuts in transportation funding and have no ability to replace the money that will be lost by these cuts. Counties are completely dependent on the state for funding any significant project, while in Virginia, jurisdictions have local authority to address these needs. Metro is also facing budget problems. This week, Metro General Manager Randy Clark said up to 10 stations and 67 bus lines could be cut, and 2,000 layoffs are possible if the system's $750 million budget gap isn't filled. This is potentially disastrous and a very serious disruption of our services. It's not just going to impact Metro, it's going to impact businesses, our nighttime economy, and it means that people are going to be using their cars more. The good news is that the state transportation cuts do not include cuts to WMATA. In fact, Governor Moore has stated that the state will be including funding to WMATA and increase it by $150 million for the next 2 fiscal years, and then increase it to $250 million 3 years from now. So at least we in Maryland are doing something to close this gap, and I hope the district in Northern Virginia will be doing the same thing. Actually, I expect as much or more from them. I appreciate Governor Moore administration's effort to be open, transparent, and frank regarding our situation. The state model for transportation funding is simply broken, and it's not sustainable. It's time to look at transportation as an investment in our community because of its vital role in so many key areas, including economic growth. I look forward to working with the governor, lieutenant governor, the General Assembly, MDOT, and other county governments around the state on finding the most effective way of funding needed transportation projects. Soon after becoming county executive 5 years ago, I joined with Councilmember Sidney Cass, and we held listening sessions around the county about the business climate here. We heard many complaints about the Department of Permitting Services. While not all the criticisms were fair, plenty of them were completely accurate, and we agreed to make improvements that were needed. I'm proud of all the work that's been happening at Permitting Services. We are continually improving our processes. DPS issues around 40,000 permits yearly. Each permit can be tied to several different requests, which means our staff of more than 200 responds to almost 54,000 service requests annually. One way we help customers save time is by encouraging them to use a pre-designed consultation for their projects. It's a free service, and it puts our subject matter experts to work on your design before the permit review process. Addressing issues early helps prevent headaches for you and allows our employees to turn around permanent requests faster. This year, DPS also launched the peer review program. It creates a system that allows someone from a certified list of peer reviewers to have engineered public right-of-way and sediment control stormwater management plans reviewed by experts in the industry. Again, the idea is to save time. DPS will oversee code compliance, but the review shouldn't take as long with peer review program, identifying issues early or putting through requests faster. DPS's new Fast Track program modernizes many processes for small projects for homeowners and for neighborhood associations. Eligible projects like single-level decks, fences, and sheds can get going in just a few days, as opposed to getting caught in bigger scope residential projects that could take weeks. We're also doing a better job of engaging with our community, sharing what we do and providing information about how to navigate the permitting process so that it's easier and quicker. This year, DPS launched a podcast discussing topics such as zoning, deck inspections, and adding a detached living space in your backyard. DPS has also put out a monthly newsletter that can be sent directly to your email. I encourage homeowners and businesses to subscribe to this newsletter. We're committed to improvement and streamlining our services for everyone. We encourage your input and feedback as the county moves forward with DPS as your project partner. Flu cases are on the rise, as we typically see this time of year. It comes as COVID-19 is also becoming more of a concern across the community, especially in places like nursing homes. A look at COVID-19 vaccination rates since September, when a new vaccine was introduced, show levels far below what we've seen in previous rollouts. This is also the first time it has been in the hands of pharmacies, family doctors, and the medical industry to handle the rollout of vaccines. It's disappointing to see that many people clearly don't think they need the protection anymore, while people are still getting sick and dying from COVID-19. Even in settings like nursing homes, national statistics show less than 30% of residents and only 8% of staff are up to date on vaccines. Maryland's rates are higher, with nearly 35% of the residents and 9% of the staff getting boosters. But this is simply not enough. If we remember back to COVID, when it was running at its most rampant, nursing homes were the epicenter for both infections and for deaths. This is one of the most vulnerable populations we have, and it's critical that both the residents of nursing homes and the staff at nursing homes get their boosters. I want to encourage everyone to get both of your flu and your COVID-19 shots. The County Health Department has a limited supply of vaccines that we're using to help vaccinate the uninsured, but pharmacies and other private providers have the vaccines. This holiday season is a time of joy and giving, but unfortunately, it's also time when criminals prey on unsuspecting consumers. Each year, the Montgomery County Office of Consumer Protection receives complaints about fraud schemes. Some common holiday complaints include package theft. We've all come to know the term porch pirates, who take advantage of easy access to Christmas gifts left at your front door. Consider a secured package drop box, keeping an eye on video doorbell notifications for deliveries, or asking a trusted neighbor to swing by and pick up your packages quickly. Don't be fooled by email messages that pretend to come from Amazon, FedEx, or USPS, claiming to provide status delivery information and requesting consumers to respond. Charitable giving scams also increase during the holiday season. Scammers exploit people's generosity and create fake charities or misrepresent real ones. Do your research before donating to any charity. Additionally, never give out personal information or financial information to unsolicited callers or emails claiming to be from a charity. You can always contribute after you've done your research and determine the organization is legitimate. Mail fraud is also more prevalent during the holidays. Criminals seek opportunities to pilfer mail, to alter and cash stolen checks, snatch gift cards, and potentially access your personal information. To deter mail thieves and scammers, take mail directly to the post office. Avoid sending cash through the mail, and don't leave anything in your mailbox at night. You can also place a hold on your mail if you plan to be away for an extended period of time. If you've been a victim of a scam or have any disputes over a merchant's activities, you can find resources to help, report, or stay up to date on the latest consumer news by finding our Office of Consumer Protection online at montgomerycountymd.gov/OCP. This has been a special week for many people in our community. Many of the Jewish residents here are celebrating Hanukkah. This has been a difficult few months, I think we all know that. And I hope that the Festival of Lights brought some comfort to all of those who celebrate. I also want to mention the ceremony our Office of Community Partnerships helped coordinate this week for Guru Nanak Dev Ji's birthday. Every year, this is an important occasion for our Sikh and Indian communities to come together to honor his birthday. Whatever holiday you celebrate, I hope it's filled with joy, peace, and light. That's a wrap for today. I hope you have a great week, and I will be back again next week.